What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. And we are back once again. And you know, when you see me, three things are for sure. Three things are for certain. Number one is that the Motor City Cats are back at it. Number two is that we came to give you stats and not static. And number three is that we want to make sure that you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And the way that we make sure of that is we just give you pragmatic stuff. The stuff that we give you is top tier pragmatism. Now, I don't know if pragmatism is a word. If it isn't, it's pretty cool. And I just made it up. And then we're going to make a hashtag or something. But, you know, it is what it is. We got some things to get into today, man. We got some more PFF shenanigans. Bro, I tell you, at this point, I'm going to tell you what PFF is. PFF is rage bait. That's all PFF is, because they're not consistent. They're very inconsistent. The only thing that they're consistent at is being inconsistent. You know, when you see something come across your screen and it said PFF, oh boy, here we go. Okay, here we go. It is what it is. What is up, though? K ain't pressed. A Bears fan said the Lions are regular season champs, SMH. Well, to that Bears fan, I would say it's better than being off-season champs, right? Because we actually play the games and win them. Y'all just make rosters that look real nice, and you win 3 games. But anyway, I digress. The first thing that we're going to get into today, we're going to talk about the Lions rule proposal that they were trying to reseed, or not trying to reseed, but basically they were trying to change the way that the playoffs are seeded, and it would involve some reseeding. And obviously it was a good situation for those teams that didn't win their division. However, they were in the playoffs and then they had to go on the road to a lesser team, right? If you got a 7-9 division winning team, which we've had in the past, I think it was the NFC South, because the NFC South is a dumpster fire just about every single year. Okay. So if you have the Bucks winning the NFC South at 7-9, or the Saints winning the NFC South at 7-9, there's no way in hell any of these teams should actually be hosting a playoff game, right? It shouldn't be hosting one. Now, if you win the division, and this is some other stuff that we're going to get into as well. There's been a lot of people, right, trying to push back. Now, the pushback is, if you believe that the Lions are going to win 13, 14, 15 games again, the pushback from the Lions fan, from the Lions fans has been, hey, you know, I don't care if you win 10 games, just get into the playoffs. How do you get into the playoffs? By winning 10 games. What's the guarantee there? The guarantee is that you win your division. If you win your division and you've only won 10 games, then yes, you're guaranteed to get into the playoffs. Don't mess around and win 10 games. Don't mess around and lose 5 more games than you lost last year and miss the playoffs. Because I'm coming for everybody's head, and I'm taking the receipts, and I'm going to people that comment on my videos. There's a lot of people that comment on my videos, and because I title my videos with questions, right? It's to get you thinking. It's not to get you to just answer the title thinking that you know what's in the video. Watch the damn video. Watch it, and then comment. Because you got people out here talking crazy, thinking I'm saying something that I'm not saying, but because you didn't watch the video, you just feel like you're just going to come up and disagree with me because you're looking at a title. Okay? That's not how we do things. Watch the video. Take some time out your life. Right? I promise you'll enjoy it. Pause. I sounded kind of R. Kelly-ish on that one. A little bit Diddy-ish on that one. Nah, I never sound Diddy-ish, but you know. Karen Presses, did you watch Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother's podcast today? They had Isaac on there, the new draft pick. I did not watch it. I saw snippets of it. I probably should have watched it, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to. All right, let's get into this. We're going to talk about what we've been talking about. So we got an article here from Field Level Media. It says Lions pull proposal to modify playoff seating. The Detroit Lions withdrew their proposal to alter playoff seating before a vote was taken by owners in Minneapolis on Wednesday. The proposal called for seating the playoff field based on record, thus eliminating the automatic home game for division winners, regardless of regular season record. NFL owners were scheduled to vote on the proposal Wednesday. Instead, the team pulled the pitch from the table due to a lack of support. NFL Network reported speculating the idea could be revisited should the league expand to an 18-game schedule. When, not should. When the league expands to an 18-game schedule. Because it's coming. Oh, it's coming. Under the current format, 4 division winners in each conference are guaranteed a home playoff game. Wildcard entrants travel to play the division champions, which can yield a matchup between a home team with a record worse than the wildcard team. Last season, for example, the 14-3 Vikings were forced to travel west to meet the 10-7 Rams in the wildcard round. Minnesota finished behind the Detroit Lions 15-2 in the NFC North, making the Vikings a wild card. Los Angeles won the NFC West. The Rams prevailed to advance. In the postseason, following, it should be following, it says followed. In the postseason following the 2023 season, the Eagles 11-6 finished second in the NFC East. I mean, listen, guys, anybody out there who is a writer, let me give you a hack. Take your article that you've written and put it into Gemini or ChatGPT, if that's what you prefer, and spell check and grammar check your damn article. Because this one is full of errors, and I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to help you out. Field on Level, right? Because not too many people have heard of Field on Level, and I'm not like this huge, big content creator that's got thousands and thousands of followers and tens of thousands, but we can get there. Hashtag smash the like button, hashtag subscribe, hashtag share. You know what I mean? Anyway, check your stuff, bro. That's why you need to check your stuff. I understand that you're trying to get it out there and you ain't got time to proofread. I'm going to tell you, it takes 5 seconds. Throw it into ChatGPT, throw it into Gemini, ask it to proofread and correct. Okay? All right. So anyway, the Lions had in the postseason following the 2023 season, the Eagles 11-6 finished second in the NFC East, and as a wild card went on the road to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 9-8 in the opening round, and they got shellacked. They got shellacked. Okay, they got that ass beat. The Lions had proposed only the division winner with the best record in each conference would play at home. The remaining playoff teams would be seeded by record with no regard to division standing. Okay. So the proposal was, it made sense. It was a good proposal, but you hate to be the team that proposed such a thing and then you get bit in the ass by the same proposal that you had. So this situation that they proposed would be diametrically opposed to what Lions fans are saying, who are just on this whole, hey, just win 10 games. I don't care. Just win 10 games, get to the playoffs. Okay, you win 10 games, you get to the playoffs. Cool. All right. Now what happens? You win 10 games, you get to the playoffs because you won your division, but you still got to go on the road because you had a bad record. Because 10-7 is not a good record. I don't care what you think. It's not. Okay? 10-7 is some skin of your teeth stuff. Y'all are tempting fate now. Y'all are asking for the wrong stuff. Okay? I don't care if they go 12-5. All right. You know, some crazy stuff's going to have to happen for you to be 12-5 and not get to the playoffs. Remember when Tom Brady went down and Matt Castle took over and they were 11-5 and missed the playoffs? Okay. Well, that's 12-5 right now. And it could conceivably happen, but not as easily as 10-7. You win 10 games and you miss the playoffs because you lost 7. And depending who you lose to, what is the weight of that situation? You don't want to lose to too many NFC teams. You want all your losses to happen in the AFC because that helps with your playoff seeding. It's not just as simple as strap them up and win only 10 games because we don't care. We just trying to make it to the playoffs and we don't care about the regular season. We don't care nothing about the regular season, player. That's what people are telling me. And I don't care about the regular season either, right? I heard someone say, I think it was Sean Baligian, he said they could go 17-0, and it's like, fine, what did you do in the playoffs? And that's where we are right now. That is where we are as a franchise right now. The regular season doesn't matter as long as you get to the playoffs. So don't be sitting up here talking about we just want to scratch and claw our way into the playoffs. No, we want to get to the playoffs comfortably. You don't want to be sitting here in the last week of the season like, all right, I need the Seahawks to lose. I need the Rams to tie. I need the Eagles to win, and I need the Giants to lose by 56. If all that happens at one time, we're going to be in the playoffs. Don't nobody want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. So all you Lions fans that are out there talking about, oh, just win 10 games and we don't care and that's all we need to do. Stop it. Stop it. Go out there and take care of business. Take care of business is getting yourself minimum 11 wins. Minimum. 12 you can be comfortable. Anything else beyond 12 is a luxury and a bonus. Don't be sitting up here talking about some 10. You want to be 9-8 like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and try to win the division at 9-8? Our division ain't the NFC South. I've said this before. The NFC South is terrible. It's a dumpster fire. So as I said, 10 wins, that's not what you're looking for. Don't tell me that you don't care if they only win 10 wins. That's not. They only get 10 wins. That's not true. What up, though, Doughboy Steve? What up, though, Jared Colucci? Let's see. I gotta read Kay's comments first because she be in here talking about chicken and cooking and black men from Detroit. So you said I was on the FB and NFC Trash Talk page. Okay, so not NFC North. Listen, the reason that people talk stuff about the Detroit Lions now is because the Detroit Lions were the little brother of the league for so long, and you could count on them to suck. Okay? Misery loves company. All right? And not only does misery love company, but people like to punch down. So as long as you have something to punch down against, then you feel better about yourself. Now they don't have the Lions to kick around anymore. Now they can't punch down on the Lions. So we went from these lovable losers to now we got a target on our back. And that's fine. That's where we want to be. We don't want to be in a lovable losers situation. So let them talk. Let them talk. But you know what? If you're a Packers fan and you're talking, how about you try beating us? If you're a Vikings fan and you're talking, how about you try beating us? If you're a Bears fan and you're talking, how about you try beating us? Because the last thing that I knew from last season is that we went 6-0 in the division. That means we came to your trap. We took over your trap. We went to our trap and you couldn't take over our trap. You know, it was like that. That's what it was. Doughboy C says Jared Goff 115 with no defense will be all right. Oh, I said that we possibly could go 15-2 again, and that's when people were just commenting on my videos. Like, if you don't want to be, if you don't want your producer commenting all over your videos, come to death row. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. But yeah, and that was the thing. And then some people in the chat the other day, and I'm just like, look, man, 10 wins is, don't pray for that. And I'm seeing it all over. I'm seeing it in other people's chats. You know, this is a lot of Lions fans just pushing back against winning a lot of games, right? You want to go 15-2? How about you go 10-7? How about you go 10-7, player? And then come talk to me if you don't make the playoffs. Bruh, stop tempting fate. Go there, handle business, win you 12, 13 games, whatever, 14, 15. Get in the playoffs, man. Stop playing around. Because I'm telling y'all are going to be crashing out heavily if we win 10 games and don't make the playoffs. So don't tempt it. That's all I'm saying. Teams I'm worried about, Eagles. I don't know why you're worried. Why? Listen, as a Lions fan, why are you worried about the Commanders? We had a bad game. We had a Texans level game against the Commanders. It wasn't anything the Commanders were doing. It wasn't exotic coverages. I mean, just look at the Mikey Sainristil pick against Jameson Williams and let that sink in. Mikey Sainristil picked off a pass intended for Jameson Williams after Jameson Williams had him beat by 3 yards. What does that tell you? The pass wasn't great. It was late. J-Mo had to slow down for it. He didn't get hit in stride. It wasn't because Mikey Sainristil is locked down corner. And I love Mikey Sainristil because I am a Michigan fan, right? Go Blue. Stop being afraid of the Commanders. We was about to beat that ass without getting to Jaden Daniels. We didn't touch him. We didn't sniff him. But if you go up 14-3, the game is finished. It's done. There's no need to be afraid of the Commanders. For what? What have they done? What up, though, Tactical Sport? Our Lions will be better. That's true. Do I think the Eagles and the Lions game will be fantastic if everybody's healthy? If everybody's healthy. Doughboy Steve brings up Jared Goff. And that brings me to my next topic. Oh, and this is about to be a spicy meatball. Oh, you better believe it. All right. PFF did their quarterback rankings. And they put people in tiers. Literally TIERS, but probably TEARS as well. Okay? PFF is the most inconsistent publication you will ever see. PFF has all kinds of stats. Remember when, I don't know if y'all saw this, I ride with the heavyweights. I watch the show every day. Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Spinmo Racks. If you go back in time, go back to last Wednesday's show. Me, Easy, and Spinmo Racks were chopping it up about the schedule release. Okay, so it was the first time in Motor City Cats history that we had the Woodward heavyweights, both of them, on the show. So go check that out later on, not now, because we doing the show right now. Remember when Trevor Sikkema, if you saw the show, Trevor Sikkema of PFF, he's supposed to be the quarterback guy, went on the show and was making up stats. He was making stuff up. This man said, what was the stat that they made up about Jared Goff? Something about big time throws. And what big time throws was throws that were 20 yards or more down the field through tight windows. What kind of cockamamie specificity is that? How are you? Hey man, that's a good quarterback. Yeah, he's good and everything, but can he throw the ball down the field 20 yards in a tight window? I mean, there's enough stuff with like the QBR. How do you calculate a QBR, right? Passer rating. How do you calculate a passer rating? There's enough ambiguity into that stuff than to be sitting up here talking about these big time throws where you got to sit up here and measure how far the ball traveled and through how tight of a window. And when does the window have to become tight? Right? Do you have to throw it off the line of scrimmage through some lineman hands that are trying to bat it down, and you got to throw it through this little, you know what I'm saying, right? Between his hands and helmet. You got to throw it through that. Or does it have to be 10 yards down the field through the outstretched arms of a safety or a linebacker? Or does it have to be exactly 20 yards down the field? And does it have to be double coverage, two safeties, and you got to throw it through those two safeties into the hands of your wide receiver? What is the tightness of the window? Okay, so PFF does stuff like that all the damn time, and it's getting old. PFF, I'm tired of it. I'm sick of your stuff. I'm sick of your crap, PFF. All right, let me pop out the chat so I can see it while I'm going over these ratings. Okay, because I'm gonna ask y'all about these ratings. Do I think Josh Allen deserves to be number 4? Well, let's see who is ahead of him. All right, so PFF rankings all 32 starters ahead of the 2025 NFL season. Okay, tier 1 is the elite tier. If you are not elite, you will not be in this tier. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Until Patrick Mahomes is no longer Patrick Mahomes, you won't be able to argue with this. Okay? Until Patrick Mahomes falls off of a cliff. Remember Rob Parker? Tom Brady, it's over. You need to retire. He's falling off of a cliff. 7 years later, Tom Brady's still balling. Right? No way, no how. Tom Brady, stop it. Okay, do y'all remember that? I don't know if you do. Patrick Mahomes 14-4 in the playoffs. Goff had better stats. That's fine, but you can't argue that he's been to 5 Super Bowls, right? 5, is it 5 or 6? I think he's been to 5. He's 3-2. Okay. All right. Who did they sign, Kay? So, who did they sign? Was it Joe Thuney? They already had him on the team, but they reached a contract extension or agreement. All right. So Patrick Mahomes, like, you may have better stats than him in a season. You may have even beat him in the playoffs in a season, but he's 3-2 in the Super Bowl. Like, he's already been to 5 Super Bowls and he's not 30. Right? What is he, 26, 27, something like that? Right. So, right. Josh Allen is 7-6 in the playoffs. Okay. So we don't need to read anything about Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow. Okay. Joe Burrow would have been in the MVP conversation, but if you can't win games, you can't be in that conversation. But he had a phenomenal year. The stats were the stats. Yes, Lamar Jackson is 3-5 in the playoffs. All right. The only real knock on Joe Burrow is that he hasn't entered a season at full strength in years. But when he's right, there may be no one better. Burrow's 93.5% passing grade, or 93.5 passing grade and 95.2 overall grade, over the past 3 seasons, led all quarterbacks, and his 51.3% success rate over that span ties Josh Allen for his second best in the league. If the Bengals can field even a league average defense, Burrow would give them a real shot at winning the AFC every year. Okay, but the Bengals are the Bengals. Did y'all see that Shamar Stewart is still holding out from the Bengals? Okay. How do you have a rookie and he has to argue with you over language in his contract? I don't understand that. But the Bengals are going to bingle. Okay. They're already going through it with Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson probably called him up when he got drafted and said, young fella. Because Trey Hendrickson, he don't talk like that, but I'm talking like that. He said, young fella, let me holler at you. He said, what's up, old school? Young fella, go ahead and get your money. Don't let them play with your money now. Because the Bengals will play with your money. That's what they do. They like to play with people's money. Make sure you get your money. You saw what Jamar just got. You saw what T. Higgins just got. You seen it. Go ahead and get your money. Get it. All right. So you're saying, Doughboy Steve, are you saying that Patrick Mahomes shouldn't be number one? Is that your argument? Because if Patrick Mahomes shouldn't be number one, then who should be? Lamar Jackson is number 3. Okay. Jackson is coming off the best season of his career and one of the highest graded quarterback campaigns in PFF history, finishing 2024 with a 94.9 overall grade. The 2-time NFL MVP remains the most dynamic player at the position, blending elite arm talent with unmatched rushing ability. The only lingering blemish on his resume is his postseason record. If Jackson can translate his regular season dominance into playoff success and capture a Super Bowl, he'll cement his place among the NFL's all-time greats. But this is going into 2025. So who would you have as number one going into 25? Okay. Lamar the loser. Come on, man. Listen. What's the argument for Josh Allen getting the MVP over Lamar Jackson last season? The argument is that Lamar Jackson had Derrick Henry and Josh Allen had a rookie. He still had James Cook. His wide receiver core wasn't the greatest, and he put up numbers. My thing is this. Lamar Jackson still put up phenomenal numbers. All of his numbers were better. His personal numbers were better than Josh Allen. And he had Derrick Henry getting how many yards on the ground? 1,400? Somewhere around there. So if you got somebody taking away 1,000+ yards from your production and you're still at 4,000+ passing yards, over 1,000 rushing yards, 40+ touchdowns, and what was it? 3 interceptions? That's kind of crazy. What do you mean, Doughboy Steve? I haven't said anything about golf. I haven't said anything about golf. I'm commenting on the people that are here. I'm commenting on the people that are here in this tier. Okay, I'll get to golf. Just wait. Come on now. I'm talking about Mahomes, Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. Those are the only 3 people that I've said anything about so far. Don't kill me yet. Come on now. Give me a chance. Then, if Lamar is a loser, so is everybody else on this list. Okay? Joe Burrow is a loser. Lamar Jackson is a loser. Like everybody on this list that hasn't won a Super Bowl is then a loser by this logic, right? All right. Number 4 is Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Allen's 95.4 overall grade over the past 3 seasons ranks first among all quarterbacks. His 91.4 passing grade in that span is third behind Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Despite losing his top 2 receivers from 2023, Allen didn't miss a beat in 2024, delivering his most complete season yet and earning his first MVP award, which again, I don't believe he should have gotten. I believe that Lamar Jackson should have got it. But, you know, a 3-time MVP, hard to do. Okay. So then we just go through the it's a ranking of quarterbacks from last season going into the next season. Okay? So that means everybody on this list other than Jalen Hurts is a loser. Okay? And Jalen Hurts should be in the elite conversation. Is that what you're saying? No, you're not saying that. I don't think anybody's saying that except for Eagles fans. They need to pressure him. Well, they try. They try to pressure him. I don't have a problem with. Does anybody have a problem with this tier? Okay. Okay, this is the elite tier. That's it. It's 4 quarterbacks. Okay. I'm sure Lions fans are mad that Jared Goff was left out of that tier. And that's fine. Okay. Maybe it should be more than 4, but the 4 that they selected, I believe, are the faces of the league. Right? Everybody recognizes all of these players, and the NFL has propped up these players. So these are the faces of the league. Okay. I don't really have a problem with the order at all. I can't really say anything about it. I mean, Joe Burrow, we know that he's done what he's done without a front office. Okay. They're not good at managing football. All right, tier 2 is high-end starters. High-end starters. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts' 2024 campaign, capped by an impressive Super Bowl run, was a return to form after a turbulent 2023 season a year earlier. Hurts too often pressed in high leverage moments and struggled under pressure, but he flipped the script this past season, showing poise and control even when things broke down around him. After a slow start, he found his rhythm and delivered when it mattered most. Over the past 3 seasons, his 91.5 overall grade ranks 5th among all quarterbacks. Okay, so if you say that his overall grade ranks 5th among quarterbacks, then he should be 5th. Jalen Hurts deserves number 5. He balled out in the Super Bowl. Yes. Okay. If it's not a Super Bowl win, he's not number 5. So I don't have a problem with him being number 5. He did win the Super Bowl. He's not elite, so I don't have a problem with him being the first person selected outside of the elite tier. Okay. This one, Lions fans, get ready for it. Number 6 is Jayden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Perhaps we're crowning Daniels a bit too early. Yes, you are. As plenty of quarterbacks have had standout rookie seasons only to regress in year 2, but what separates Daniels is the poise under pressure and in clutch moments late in the year. Where was he against the Eagles? His rookie campaign was arguably the best we've ever seen, with his 90.6 overall grade marking the highest ever recorded by PFF for a rookie quarterback. I have a problem with this one for all the reasons that they stated. You got to give it more time. But in the spirit of the list, in the spirit of the list, if you're basing it solely off of last season, okay, then you can make it make sense. And obviously, because last season was his rookie season, you can't base it off of anything else. I just think number 6 is a bit high. I think number 6 is a bit high. I think there's other people that you could put over him. People that are proven, people that have done it. But again, if you're only basing it off of last season, fine. Will Jaden Daniels have a down year too? It's almost guaranteed when you burst on the scene as a rookie like that. Now there's a full year of film on you. Now people can understand what your tendencies are. They know your favorite routes. They know your favorite receivers. They know your favorite spots. They know how you react to pressure. They know how you react to man. They know how you react to zone. There's all of that because it's all on film. And while he had a phenomenal year and didn't show too many weaknesses, it's the defensive coordinator's jobs to find the weaknesses that he does have. Yeah, and if they find those and they're able to exploit those, then I think that he'll have I don't want to say a bad season, but it won't be as spectacular as his rookie season. Now, if his season is exactly the same as his rookie season to the letter, all the yards are the same, the attempts are the same, if everything is the exact same, which probably can never happen, then the question goes, like, are you going to be like, wow, look at this kid, Jaden Daniels, because he did this back-to-back times? Or are you going to say, okay, yep, he had a great year, and you're going to throw out the rookie year, not throw it out, but it's not going to be as impressive because he just did this last year. You know what I mean? So it's like he had an identical season to his rookie season. While his rookie season was phenomenal, now we want to know, is this the peak? Is he going to regress or is he going to go higher? So I don't know. Putting him at 6, I think was a little bit ambitious. A little bit ambitious. All right, number 7. Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is number 7. Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. Stafford isn't coming off his best season. His 74.7 overall grade in 2024 reflects that. But what keeps him in this upper tier is his complete command of the Rams offense. Despite playing behind a shaky offensive line and losing multiple top weapons to injury, he was still a drive away from knocking off the eventual Super Bowl champions in the divisional round. When Stafford is locked in, he is as good as anyone in football. I'm going to do something that I rarely do. I'm going to stop short of giving him flowers, but I will say that since he's left Detroit, he's become a damn good quarterback. Now, I don't know where this was in Detroit, but you can't count on him to throw the pick 6 to end the game anymore. You can't count on him to have a costly strip sack at some point in the game. You can't count on these things. I don't know what happened when he got out of Detroit. Maybe he was drinking water straight out of the tap. I don't know. But you know, the development that he's had in Los Angeles was the development that we were waiting for him to have in Detroit. But he just didn't get it. And in 1 year, he got the turnaround that he needed. Dude played an undermanned defense in the first round and got crushed in the second. I'll wait and see. Stafford gave the Eagles hell in the playoffs. He did. And that's what I'm saying. He became, when he left Detroit, he became what we wished he was in Detroit. A winner. because in Detroit, he was a loser. That's just the bottom line. All right. Justin Herbert is number 8. Now, I'm not going to read anything about Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been a tease. I'm not going to tell you what kind of tease. You can start with the D or you can start with the C. Whatever you want. And then you say pause and no Diddy after both of them. He's been a tease throughout his career. I'm going to say something here. And we got Lions fans in here. And I don't know how many of you are Stafford fans. I'm not a Stafford fan. I think Justin Herbert is Matthew Stafford in Detroit. I think he's Matthew Stafford in Detroit. He's got all the talent in the world. Doughboy Steve says arm talent galore. He's got all the talent in the world, but for some reason he doesn't win anything. Like you can talk to me about Brandon Staley all you like. But when you are up 28-0 going into halftime over Trevor Lawrence, who has been very, very underwhelming for what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the second coming of Andrew Luck and the third coming of Peyton Manning. And he has been none of those things. You don't go up 28-0 against that guy in the playoffs who's thrown 4 first half interceptions to give you that 28-0 lead and not be able to muster 3 points in the second half. I don't want to hear about Brandon Staley. Okay? Yeah, Brandon Staley is a bad coach. He got fired, whatever the case may be. He's not the reason that you couldn't come up with 3 points in the entire second half. You had 30 minutes to do it. You couldn't come up with 3 points. So that's Justin Herbert to me. He's a tease. And I don't think he should be number 8 on this list. I think until he starts winning, he should not be considered a top 10 quarterback. That's what I think. Yep, Herbert reminds me of Stafford. Right. So we're on the same page here. Okay. That is the end of tier number 2. Okay, now let's go back. Tier number 1 is elite. Tier number 2 is high-end starters. PFF does not think that Jared Goff is a high-end starter. But the slide ends there. Tier 3A, solid starters who have flashed high-end play. Now, we all know what Goff did last year. We know what Goff has done in Detroit, so I don't need to read a paragraph about Jared Goff. If I can't talk about Jared Goff myself, then I don't need to be doing what I'm doing. Okay? PFF is a joke. Solid starters who have flashed high-end play. What does flash mean? Right? By the very definition of the word flash, it is something that happens very quickly. So when you show flashes, that means you do a little bit here, do a little bit there, and you rock with it and lean with it. Hey, rock with it. Okay. Anyway, that's why y'all love me, right? Because I'm just, I do things. Jared Goff had statistically last season a season in which not a single other quarterback, not even the GOAT, Tom Brady, has had. Okay? I don't remember the exact stats. I mean, we beat him over and over and over again like a drum. But he was the only quarterback to do 4 things, all 4 things in his career, not just at once and in the same year. Okay? That was the crazy part about it. These 4 things have never happened in anyone else's career altogether. Jared Goff did them in 4 in 1 year. I believe it was completion percentage was over 71%. I have to go back and look at it, right? But he did these 4 things. No one has done these 4 things. Not Tom Brady, not Aaron Rodgers, not Brett Favre, not Dan Marino, not John Elway, not Joe Montana, not anybody else, not Patrick Mahomes. It's Jared Goff is the only one to do these 4 things in his career. And he did them all in the same year. The year before that, again, statistically, he had a phenomenal year. So to tell me, I mean, the year before that, when we went 9-8, his play came on mid-season as well. And since the mid-season of 2023, or was it 2022, when we went 9-8 and just missed the playoffs, and that's when Kirby Joseph became Aaron Rodgers' father. Okay? Sent him packing. Literally. Packing. Okay? So from that season up until now, Jared Goff has been playing at an elite level. However, you're telling me that he is a solid starter who has flashed high-end play. To me, if you're believing this, it's the same as believing what I'm going to say. Jared Goff has had in his career a few stinkers on big stages. This is the only thing I can attribute to the hate that Jared Goff gets. I know the narrative that Sean McVay placed on him, just like I tell you that the Lions have tanked Hendon Hooker's trade value. There is no team that will trade for Hendon Hooker for anything of value. He's not going to be in part of a trade to bring in a big name player. He's not going to get you a haul on draft night. You're not going to trade him for anything more. The only thing you can hope for is a 3rd round pick, if the status stays the same. That's the only thing you can hope for. That's the highest you can hope for. But you're probably not going to get more than a 5th or a 6th for him. At this point, maybe even a 7th. Okay? So that's what I said. They've tanked his stock. Sean McVay, much in the same way, has tanked Jared Goff's stock. No matter what Jared Goff does, short of winning a Super Bowl, he will not get the recognition that he deserves. He has a freaking jersey in Canton, for goodness sakes, because he went perfect in a game. Is he a perfect quarterback? No. Does he have a turnover problem? In a way, he does. As I explained yesterday, it's the punches and bunches theory. When he starts turning the ball over, he gets in his head and wants so badly to fix it that he will be prone to making more mistakes and taking more risk than he should. This is why I think that Johnny Morton is going to come in here and take the ball out of his hands when he turns the ball over, because we can survive a pick, right? Especially if whenever everyone gets back, because y'all have to remember, certain people aren't going to be here at the beginning of the season. Malcolm Rodriguez likely will not be here at the beginning of the season. He'll be starting the season on PUP. Okay? Ali McNeil for sure will be on the PUP. Okay? Mekhi Wingo probably going to be on the PUP. Okay? So there are people that are going to be on the PUP list. Okay? But if you got a healthy defense, especially our defense, when healthy, the defense was top 5. They can withstand one turnover. So I think that that's what's going to happen. Okay? If you fix that about Goff, then he's going to be in the elite tier. Because what can't he do? Scramble? Right? Now, maybe you talk about his arm strength, right? According to Artur, Jared Goff has the strongest arm in the NFL. Artur drinks, okay? Or smokes or does something, okay? Matthew Stafford has a bigger arm than Jared Goff. Jared Allen, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers. Okay, just to name a few. Can Jared Goff throw the deep ball? Yes, he can. Is it going to be as accurate as some of the other people I named? Maybe, maybe not. But Jared Goff is a very accurate quarterback. He was the most accurate quarterback in the league last season. Almost 72% of his passes he completed. I think it was 71.9 or something like that. Okay. So if you take away the turnovers, then the only thing that you can say is, well, he doesn't have an elite arm. Okay. Can he get the ball to J-Mo 50 yards down the field? Yeah, he can. He's done it. Do we need much more? Do we need to get it down the field 80 yards? I think if J-Mo is single covered and he runs down the field 50 yards, I think he'll be pretty open. I think J-Mo could turn around, sit down, do a few burpees, do some sit-ups and some push-ups like T.O. in the driveway and get up and catch the football. If you let J-Mo run past you 50 yards down the field, he's going to be wide open. Okay? So, to say that he is a solid starter who has flash high-end play is absolutely ridiculous, asinine, and ludicrous. It's absolutely ridiculous, asinine, and ludicrous. Arm strength led the league in air yards. I'm trying to find things that you can say as to why they're saying he's not in the elite tier. He's not in the, what was the second tier? High-end starters. A lot of this is a narrative is painted by Sean McVay. That's it. If you want to understand it, if you want to understand why Jared Goff doesn't get certain respect, it's because of Sean McVay. Again, I told you the Lions tanked Hendon Hooker's trade value by bringing in Teddy Bridgewater off of the high school sidelines and playing him in the whatchamacallit, and playing him in the playoffs when Jared Goff got hurt and making Hendon Hooker the emergency quarterback. Essentially being inactive, but he's there in case of emergency. Break glass. Right? Hendon Hooker was the break glass quarterback. Nobody's trading for him. The way that Sean McVay treated Jared Goff and the way that people view Sean McVay, this is the reason that Jared Goff still has this rap. And he can't shake it. He can't shake it. Okay, in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago, absolutely no way that even the staunchest Goff hater could say that that was his fault. Because not only did Josh Reynolds, I guess you could call him Josh Rentals, right? Because he's a short-term rental at every team he goes to, unless he's playing with Jared Goff. So Josh Rentals, okay, we'll call him that. When he dropped those 2 passes, guess what? Both of those passes hit him directly in the hands. Not behind him, not too far in front of him, where he had to make an acrobatic diving catch. None of that. Put it right on him. So it's the Sean McVay effect, man. This is what you're seeing. Okay? This is what you're seeing. The Sean McVay effect. I don't want to call Hooker dumb, bro. I mean, if you're not in a pro style offense and he's here to be the backup, how much does he get? How many reps do you get as the backup quarterback? That's what I said. Josh Rentals dropped the balls. And I said that those balls that were thrown to him were perfectly placed. Okay? So that's my point. It wasn't Jared Goff. It wasn't him at all. Okay? So this is my point. All right. So going through the rest of this doesn't really matter. I do want to address something though. I want to address something, and I know it's not going to change anything. But I need this to be said, because I was in the gym yesterday, and so I just had, what did I have on? I think it was Armani and Edwards or something, but it was Stick and Anson. Oh, JD is in there. Yeah, so this is what they said. This is what they said. Basically what PFF said was he has to prove that it wasn't Ben Johnson. And I like that PFF said that. Okay? I like that they said that because I'm pretty sure Jared Goff is going to see it. Jared Goff has proven to be petty, right? I didn't know I was a poor man's anything. So like, you know, that's what he said to Ryan Fitzpatrick. So he's proven to be petty. He gets the things, he sees the things. And I hope he sees the PFF thing. And I hope he hears all the chatter that people are saying, well, Jared Goff is a Ben Johnson merchant. And I hope it fuels his fire. And I hope he comes out and has a better season than he did last year without Ben Johnson, so that we can finally put it to bed. Ben Johnson was part of Jared Goff's development. He was part of Jared Goff's development. So was Dan Campbell. So was Mark Brunell. Okay? This guy, when he came to Detroit, was not ready for any responsibility because Sean McVay didn't give him any. Sean McVay didn't trust him. Sean McVay did not make efforts to develop him. Okay? But he did take you to a Super Bowl, Sean McVay. I mean, if I was a coach and I had a quarterback that took me to a Super Bowl, I wouldn't be like, oh, I don't have time for this guy. Now there's personal things going on. Apparently there was a picture or something of Sean McVay's wife, and Jared Goff was in a group chat, and he was like, yeah, I'd hit that. Okay. I feel you. That's fine. A lot of people say the same thing about Jared Goff's wife. So, yeah. I mean, Sean McVay could have, Sean McVay's got he's got a Napoleon complex. Because Sean McVay could have fired back and said, well, I would hit yours too. So we're in the same boat. All right. Next rep. It didn't have to be a thing, but obviously there was a bone to pick. Um, he was a merger with college and then the Rams. I mean, nobody really, when you get to the NFL, we're not talking about what you did in college. It's a different game. Right? But like I said, I'm glad they said that so it can fuel his fire. All right, so this thing, I want to address this before I get out of here. Depending on when I get out of here, I don't know, but it depends on what kind of questions we got and who's talking and saying what. So as I said, I'm listening to this show yesterday. Stick and Anson are talking, and there was a member in the chat. I'm not gonna say this person's name because I don't give him any airtime. He was begging. I called into one of the Woodward shows one time, and he was arguing with me in the chat, and he wanted me to say his name and give him. So I said, I'm not gonna give this dude no airtime. So that's it. I just don't give him airtime. I don't like him. I've blocked him. I never see him in any chats that I go in, and I have a very, very pleasant chat experience. He's an asshat. He's also a dickhead. He's an idiot and he's an imbecile. Okay? But Stick and Anson did this little spiel to tell him that he doesn't know football. Now, this guy legitimately doesn't know football. He doesn't. I've had battles with him in the past. He's a moron. And he just talks loud, and thinks that his opinion matters. But when you have terrible opinions about things that other people know how to do, like play football, nobody wants to listen to you. No, come on, bro. Doughboy Steve Easy's my guy. Come on. Come on, bro. He'd be on my show. Come on, though. It's not easy. It's a person that is in the chat. Okay. So the thing was this, and we run around with these narratives. Stick does this a lot. And it's just so nonchalant. How many other teams? Like, I'm so tired of hearing this. How many other teams have elite bookend edge rushers side by side, like on opposite sides of each other? Nobody. Who's on the other side of Max Crosby? That's right. You don't know. Malcolm Kuntz. He was a guy that most people wanted Detroit to sign. Do you know who's on the other side of Myles Garrett? Za'Darius Smith, who everybody wants to resign in Detroit. So I want people to stop this narrative and to stop this notion that if someone wants a pass rush, that they are asking for goddamn Trey Hendrickson, Myles Garrett, Max Crosby only. If it ain't Myles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson, don't talk to me, because you ain't got no pass rush. If you don't have Myles Garrett next to Aiden Hutchinson, you ain't serious about the pass rush. If you ain't got Trey Hendrickson next to Aiden Hutchinson on the other side, you ain't serious about the pass rush. Nobody's saying that. If you ain't trying to bring in Max Crosby next to Aiden Hutchinson on the other side, you ain't serious about the pass rush. And you stupid and you don't know how to do your job. Nobody is telling Brad Holmes any of that. Right? What we're saying is somebody competent. Now, this is the other thing that pisses me off. Well, he's saying that they didn't address the pass rush. I mean, well, they re-signed Marcus Davenport. Give me a goddamn break, bro. Marcus Davenport ain't been healthy since 1969. What are we talking about? Stop doing this. Stop. Don't do this. Marcus Davenport is not a healthy option. I want him to be healthy. My God, do I want him to be healthy. Right? Pray to God that he's healthy. Please let Marcus Davenport be healthy. But if you got to do all that, then guess what? Something in his history shows that he has a problem being healthy. Stop talking to me about Marcus Davenport, bro. It will be a pleasant surprise if Marcus Davenport plays 12 games. I will be freaking flabbergasted if Marcus Davenport makes it through the entire season. I will be gobsmacked and dumbfounded if Marcus Davenport makes it through the entire season and postseason. Shocked, amazed, bewildered, everything. Any adjective that you can think of that has to do with shock, that's what I will be if Marcus Davenport successfully makes it through 20 games. I don't want to hear, well, you know, if it gives you 12 games, then it's a success. No, it's not, because last time I checked, there were more than 12 games in the season. Okay, now, if he doesn't play the first 8 games, you hold him out the first 8 games, and then he comes to the last 12, because there's a total of, there would be a total, actually it'd be a total of 21, depending on what your seed is. You could play 21 games to get to the Super Bowl. You could play 20 games to get to the Super Bowl. If you're the number 1 seed again, you're going to play 20 games to get to the Super Bowl. Okay, so let's say you're not the number 1 seed. Okay, if you hold him out the first 9 games and he plays it back into 12 games, that's fine. Okay, because that means that you won a Super Bowl or you got to one. But I just, you know, it's crazy to me how there's just got to be this hyperbole, man. There's got to be, because tell me how many times Josh Pascal is going to win one-on-one and get to the quarterback, because he's got 5 sacks in 3 years. Tell me how many times Levi Onwuzurike is going to win one-on-ones and get to the quarterback, because last year in his first healthy season, he had 3 half sacks. Just tell me what viable option right now you have on the roster outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Because then they started talking about, oh, this is like football 101 with sticks. See, this is the tackle, and this is and you know, Aiden, when he goes, there's 2 guys on him, right? So then other people have to go one-on-one. That's my point. When Aiden comes back and other people have to go one-on-one, who's winning? Who's winning? Just tell me who's winning on our roster right now. You know who's winning? Marcus Davenport. You know who we can't count on to be in the roster, in the lineup? Marcus Davenport. You know who's winning after Marcus Davenport? Alim McNeill from the interior. You know who's not going to be on the roster until probably Thanksgiving? Alim McNeill from the interior. You know who we have to hope now can win one-on-ones in the NFL, and we've never seen him do it? A rookie named Tyleik Williams. DJ Reader is not a sack getter. He's a run stuffer. He performed last year and got you 3 sacks, which was the highest total in his career. That's not what he's here for. He's not here to get sacks. So y'all need to just stop this narrative, man. Just stop. Doughboy Steve says, for the money, give me someone functional. Yes, functional. Okay, that is all we are asking for. We're asking for someone who can win one-on-ones when they are presented with one-on-ones. They said They're like, Zadarius Smith, he's not gonna win. He's not gonna win the double team assignment because he's not that guy. You're exactly right. He's the guy that can win one-on-ones though, and he's not on the roster. Now, if you believe that because he's dating Cash Doll, because they picked up his nephew to play on the practice squad, or he's undrafted free agent, but he's probably going to be on the practice squad, right? And he's always in the city. He's going to Pistons games. I don't know if he's going to any Tigers or Red Wings games. Okay. So if you think that means he's going to re-sign, great. But I'll believe that he's re-signing when he's freaking re-signed. When I come on here and I do a video, or depending on when the news breaks, if it's during one of my live shows or right before my live show, and you say, hey, Zadarius Smith signed on that dotted line, he's going to return to the Detroit Lions this season, then everyone is happy. Why is everyone happy though? Here's my question. Since there's so many people out there saying, oh, if you don't have two elite edge rushers on the same team, nobody does that. That doesn't happen in the NFL. Fine. Great. Fantastic. So if we get Zadarius Smith and you don't believe he's elite, why would anybody be happy with that in Detroit? Because the people that talk about the pass rush only want elite people on the other side of Hutch. This is what I'm hearing. I'm just tired of the narratives, bro. I'm just tired of hearing these people that have platforms and just sit up and just talk a bunch of nonsense, bro. Nobody is saying, yes, it would be nice to have Myles Garrett. He is elite. It would be nice to have Trey Hendrickson. He is elite. 17 sacks in back-to-back seasons. It would be nice to have Max Crosby. He is elite. And we're saying if that's the only options that you have, then pay the price, man, to go get that guy. Because if you get that guy and he's healthy on the other side of Hutch, and Hutch is healthy on the other side of him for the entire year, it's going to be hard for us not to win a Super Bowl. Because the quarterback ain't about to be able to do nothing. The quarterback has no time to throw, and he has nowhere to run. If you run away from Hutch, then you run into the arms of Max Crosby. If you run away from Max Crosby, you run into the arms of Hutch. That's all we're saying. No one is telling you that we are end all be all, gotta have an elite guy. Just a guy that can win one-on-ones. When Hutch gets doubled and DJ Reader gets doubled, okay, and now all you got left is, they're gonna roll to your side and block you with a tackle, and they're going to let Tyleek come up the middle, and they're just going to roll it that way and outrun him. Okay? Or they're going to keep in a tight end. So now Tyleek is blocked up, right? They're not just going to let him run through, and they got a tight end now on the other guy opposite Hutch. Or they got the tight end over on Hutch's side for the double team, and they've got the right tackle on the other side. Can you beat that right tackle and get to the quarterback? Because that's your assignment. That's all we want. We want a guy that can do that. If you give me a guy that has 5 sacks for his career, I don't believe him. If you give me a guy that has 3 half sacks in a season, in his first full season, healthy, I don't believe him. I just don't. Because the numbers don't say that I should. And the tape don't say that I should. Because I'm not just a numbers guy. I go numbers and eye test. Neither one of those tests tell me that the answer is true. Both of those tests tell me the answer is false. So y'all just need to stop it, man. Just be for real. Be real. Don't put out all these crazy narratives, bro. Be for real. Nobody in the fan base really is excited about if Marcus Davenport goes down, we good because Josh Pascal is going to step up. Come on, bro. Stop it. Get some help. Get some help, man. Um, Josh plays a different role. I know he plays a different role. That's not the role we need. That ain't the role we need. We need someone on the other side of Hutch that can provide us an option. Okay? We need someone on the other side. Cause let's say Hutch had 20 sacks last year. That's great. But remember, Hutch had 4.5 sacks in a game that we lost. And that was the second game of the season. And you know who was on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson in game number 1? Marcus Davenport. You know who wasn't on the other side of Hutch in game number 2? Just the second game of the season, Marcus Davenport. Will DJ Reader bring pressure? He's not supposed to. I hope they bring Smith back. We need an elite blah, blah, blah as if Hutch is. No, so what they're saying is this. Hutch is elite. So that's enough. And what Brad said when he was on the phone with 97.1 the ticket was that basically the fan base was mad because Hutch is so good. And it's like, oh, just go get another like Hutch. Nah, we're not asking you for another elite rusher. Right? We're not asking you for another elite one. We're asking you for one that's competent. That understands that it's his job to beat a single blocker. Right? It's his job to beat that one man. Okay, you guys gonna get me singled up? Okay, I'm gonna beat him. It's not gonna be 100%, of course. But he understands that about that being his job. My job is to go get you off this edge. And if you give me a one-on-one matchup, I have a better opportunity to do that. And I will reward you for getting me that one-on-one matchup by getting a few sacks here and there. Right? Okay. Yeah, this is the point. It doesn't work that way, and nobody's asking for it to work that way. But the narrative that these people are trying to paint is just like, oh, you are not a Lions fan and you don't know ball if you want another edge rusher. You know, and by saying who's on the other side of Crosby, bro, they said in this so little soliloquy, who's on the other side of TJ Watt? Alex Highsmith is on the other side of TJ Watt, and Alex Highsmith wins one-on-ones, and Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt are a duo of pass rushers. Is Alex Highsmith as good as TJ Watt? No. Is he elite? No. Can he do his job if you give him one-on-one matchups? Yes. Nobody said Alex Highsmith is elite, but because you don't know who's on the other side of TJ Watt, that shows you don't know ball, bro. That's what that shows. Come on, don't just go, we're just going to throw out a great pass rusher and assume that there's an incompetent buffoon on the other side of him that nobody's ever heard of. Come on, bro. It's ridiculous. That's freaking ridiculous, man. I'm tired of hearing it. All we need is someone to create a little doubt. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, man. I know we want a double Hutch, but you want to chip him? What you want to do over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we game planning for Hutch, but that dude might get you a couple sacks this game. You know, that's it. That's it. Doughboy Steve, just create that doubt. Coach, you know, Darius Smith. You sure? You don't want to send him back out there, you know, right? And if you send a back out there, guess where the pressure's coming from? Up the middle, right? We're gonna crash that pocket up the middle. We're gonna flush somebody outside. Now you crash the pocket up the middle. You flush somebody outside. Hutch can break away from that double team because he can get wide, or Zadarius Smith can break away from that little chipper over there. You sent the back out the chip. Okay, you held him up just a little bit, and now he's giving chase towards the sideline, and he may not get the sack. You may just have to run towards the sideline and throw the ball away. End of the play. Not a positive yard gained. Can't believe the Lions are crying. They're not crying about a rule. Who's crying about a rule change? They pulled the criers are the Packers. Shout out Tush Push. The Lions were one of the people that voted were one of the teams that voted for the Tush Push to remain in the game. So no, ain't nobody crying about a rule change. You saw the title, huh? And you thought we was crying. We ain't crying. That was just a title. I talked about it for 2 minutes in the beginning of the show. Detroit Fan Man said, so yeah, Brad said all that smoke on 97.1, but he also apparently tried to trade up for both Shamar Stewart and James Pierce. So Brad tried, didn't work out. I just don't think he was ready to admit. That's the piece of, because I talked about that yesterday, right? I talked about the James Pierce thing yesterday. Okay, and I just dropped a video. A video just dropped right before my show started. So after the show, go watch the video if you didn't see the show yesterday. Okay, about the trade up for James Pierce, and that's my and there you go. Brad Holmes tells you all this stuff about elite guy this, elite guy. Nah, we got Aiden Hutchinson. We good. And then he goes, oh, we addressed it. Oh, in the 6th round. No. Now here's my other question. Okay, and this is a question I forgot to ask yesterday when I was talking about trading up for James Pierce. We know he tried to trade up for Shamar Stewart. If you tried to trade up twice in the 1st round, and you didn't get the person that you wanted in the 1st round, I guess we can't say the 2nd round because you got Tate Ratledge and you filled a need with Tate Ratledge. But in the 3rd round, you still had people there. I guess Mike Green was the one and you didn't want him. Okay. So that's fine. Okay. That's fine. If you didn't want the guys that were remaining, but I mean, Landon Jackson was still on the board. Who did I think they were trading up? Well, I thought they were trading up for Mike Green, but you know, he doesn't take no for an answer, allegedly. Landon Jackson was still there. I would have been much happier with Landon Jackson than Ahmed Hassanin. And that's the Kool-Aid, right? That's the Kool-Aid seeping into the brain. Thinking that a 6th round rookie is gonna come and just be gangbusters and world beaters. I only played football for 5 years. Because he said he would die on the field. All right, cool. Yeah, they wanted the rule changed, but they pulled it because they didn't have enough support. But the rule was just to change the playoff seeding. To stop the awful division winning, like the Saints and the the NFC South. Right, you win the division at 7-9 or 8-9 or 9-8, and you have a playoff home game against a team who's 11-6 or 12-5. But they didn't have enough support for it, so they pulled it before the vote. You know, that's how that worked. But you know, it is what it is, man. I've talked a whole lot about it. And I'm just, you know, I hate it when people run with narratives. And the narratives are largely based on what you're saying that someone else said. And if no one said this, if the person that you're talking to hasn't said this, then why do you act as if that is what is being said? If I tell you I don't like strawberries, which I do, it's just an example. If I tell you I don't like strawberries, and then you go, oh, this guy, Motor City Don P, don't like fruit. Oh, he ain't healthy. How you don't like fruit? It's not what I said. That's not what I said. And you're like literally sitting here acting like I said that. I said I don't like strawberries. Which again, I do. Okay? If I sit here and I tell you cherries are my are my favorite fruit, and you go, which they are, okay? Oh, this dude Motor City Don P only eat cherries, man. That's weird. Like when he have fruit salad, he ain't gonna eat the fruit salad because all he eats cherries. That's a weird dude, man. You know, you make something with cherries in it and other fruits. This dude just pick the cherries out and eat the cherries by himself. He leave all the other fruit. Man, that dude wasteful, man. That brother wasteful, man. He ain't gonna eat the other fruit. If Motor City Don P come in your house and you got a fruit salad or a fruit platter, don't even put it in front of him, man, cause he ain't gonna eat it, man. All he eat is cherries, man. Who said that? Did I say that? I just said my favorite fruit is cherries. It means it's my favorite. Do you know what favorite means? Maybe you don't. And maybe that's your fault because you don't know the meaning of words. Right? Never told you the only fruit that I eat is cherries. Never said that. Said it was my favorite. That's all. But anyway. Oh my goodness. This accent needs a character title. Maybe we'll get it. Give it one. If you guys want to vote on a character title, just do it in the Discord. Motor City Don P only eat cherries, man. He don't eat no other fruits, man. I don't know. We'll give it a think. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. If you guys have any mailbag questions, if you have any other comments or concerns, let me know. Otherwise, I'll hang out for about 5 more minutes. But like I said, if you guys don't have anything else, then yeah, I'll go ahead and get up out of here. Got a project that I'm working on, so I can do that and also go back to work. All right, so I'll do the sign out in the nameless character's accent. All right. Motor City Cats back at it, man. Came to give you stats, not none of that static, man. What? Jim Irsay? Wow, I had not heard that. Damn. But, he's old, so it's not like I'm shocked. Right? Like, people be acting like they're shocked. Like, dudes be 80 years old, be like, oh, they died. And like, that tracks. He was 80. Do you think the NFC North will be the best division? We have 2 unknowns in our division. Those 2 unknowns are the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. because one of them has a first-time quarterback and the other one has a first-time head coach who we don't even know if he can be a head coach yet. So on the fence with that one. Could be, could not be. I don't know. But that guy who makes the silly cult songs is expected to do something deep now. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why he would be. He was only 65 passing his sleep, apparently. I mean, 65 is still old. It's not. Some of y'all are around that age, but I'm just saying. 65 is not young. You know, you're not a spring chicken. But yeah, man, hope his family is okay and everyone gets through it. I mean, it's hard to say much. It's the finality of life. You know, it's finality of life. I never really know what to say when that happens. So yeah, I just hope that the family is good and you know, they rally around each other and, you know, help each other get through it. If I still watch the Pat McAfee show, then I would be up on it. I don't watch the Pat McAfee show anymore. The Aaron Rodgers stuff was too much for me, and then the Detroit Lions fan on there is just not a good representative of Lions fans. My man spazzed out after the Hawk trade. In the division, what are we doing? Our best player. When was Hawk our best player? Like, what are you talking about, bro? He traded that dude in the division, man. He was our best player, man. Why'd they trade him there, man? Minnesota Vikings is gonna be unbeatable now with Hutch or with Hawk, man. Crazy, man. You shouldn't have done that. Hawk never beaten us. Well, he's never played in a game in which they beaten us. I'll say that. They have beat us while he was on the roster, but he wasn't playing because he was injured. Why? Because Kirby Joseph is dirty, apparently. But that will do it for me. The Motor City Cats back at it, man. Came to give you stats, not static, whatever you do. Make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic, man. We out. Peace.